Welcome to Igbo in Ondo State, where we are going to be acquiring 60 acres of farmland for a commercial field establishment. Right now, do not blink an eye. Igbo is one of the 9 settlements of the Western Apoi tribes that live in Ondo State, Nigeria. They speak a southern dialect of the Yoruba language called Apoi, which is not very different from the Ikale dialect. The major crops grown here are oil palm, cassava. Acquiring land for commercial farming in Nigeria is not always a smooth operation. It comes at a very high cost and a lot of appealing too. And in some very rough cases or situations, fighting could be involved. So, what were the processes we had to undergo in order to acquire this massive 60-acre field here at Igbo? Sit back and relax. There's a lot of lessons we have learned over the years, especially when we are acquiring land on a commercial scale. There are certain key questions you must ask before you make payment. This is a mistake a whole lot of people make, especially when they want to acquire land. There's this pressure that comes from the landowners or people who pose as the owners of the land at that point, and they are always so interested in you making payment. But this is it. Never ever make payment until you have asked all these questions and you are certain that the land is legit. The number one thing you need to make sure you find out is the actual owners of the land. Don't just listen to hearsay and believe that the people who are coming to you are the actual owners of that land. Make sure you find out the actual owners of that land. You have to make inquiries. You have to make thorough investigation of the whole processes. The owners, the original owners of that land. You need to find them. You need to ask them, and they have to be fully aware if the land you are about to lease for that your commercial farming, or you are purchasing in full for that your commercial farming, if they are aware of the sales, okay, or they are aware that the land is about to be sold. You need to find out that, and then you also need to seek their consent if they are not aware. Usually, when you are acquiring land on a very large scale, the community most of the time do not sell the land outrightly. What they do usually is they lease the land to you for a long period of time. It could be 20 years, it could be 30 years, depending on the agreement. So at that point, if it has been agreed for a specific number of years, it's now left to you to know what you have to begin to start doing to be able to make all the profits you can ever make. After the lease period, then the ownership of the land is transferred back to the owners, except if you are then opting for extension of the lease at that point. But then you need to ensure that you are doing things that would ensure you make profit at the end of the day. What we did for this particular acquisition of this 60 acres was that we ensured that all parties were involved. Okay, we ensured that all parties were involved, because you can't afford to leave anyone out. All parties must be involved before payment is made, because when you make the payment to maybe there are parties A, B, C involved, and then you make the payment to parties A and B, and C wasn't involved, my guy, at that point you just paid to only A and B. You might eventually have to pay C separately, because if you don't pay C, C is going to make troubles with you, and you wouldn't like it at the end of the day. So that is why all parties have to be involved. So after all this, before you also make that payment, you need to ensure you have a very strong or good legal team. You need to have a good lawyer who is going to handle all of the paperwork. All right, all of the paperwork needs to be handled thoroughly, so that this lawyer can then prepare the deed of agreement. Okay, the next thing you want to ensure you do is you want to involve an expert, and that is where we at Chidab Agricultural Hub coming. You don't want to take anything to chance, because you are producing at a commercial scale, and you want to be sure of the physical and chemical properties of the soil at this field location. Make sure you get an expert involved. He would come and not just checking the soil, he will come to evaluate everything present at the field location. He is going to be evaluating for the economic trees and then advise you on the trees to keep and the trees to eliminate, and then also would advise you on field clearing approaches, what you should do and the method you should use in clearing the field. An expert will help evaluate the resources available. So I am going to be taking you through, so you see streams we have available and how best these resources will be utilized for the cultivation during the planting season and also during the drought season. So I am taking you into the field and you are going to be seeing the resources available at this field location. All right, hello guys, we're currently doing field mapping. Okay, so and the essence of field mapping is, especially when we are just newly starting up a project, is when we map out the field. Okay, we survey and then we'll map out, and then after mapping out, then we'll be able to then divide into segments, okay, and then determine the side we are literally going to be using for what we want to do. So we have over 11 acres of farmland here already cleared. Okay, so this is where we're going to be having habanero and cassava together on this particular field. Okay, so I'm going to be giving you a drone view of this field and for you to see what it is like. So this is also a part of the land. There's supposed to be a stream down this part. This is where we're coming from. Okay, this is where we're going to. Like the villagers, they come here to fetch water. This is their like major source of drinking water. I know we drank water from here the last time now. It's very cool. The water is inviting now. Is it cold? Very. It's cool, isn't it? Yeah. Well, you might not survive this if you drink. But after a while, your system might be used. If I drink this away, no, you can't. You can't. It might even be nutritious. Who knows? Who knows if it has beneficial bacteria that you need? It's easier to go up. Yeah, it is. Elle, please be very close to him. Hey Joe, Elle. I've learned the greeting here. Elle. What does Elle mean? Both afternoon, night, oh. Is Elle? Alright guys, so like you just saw, stream we just saw, that's a stream, it's not a river, so it's a stream, and that is basically where the people here get their drinking water from. It is super clean. When I mean clean, super clean and cold. But then I think that stuff still needs to be tested to determine what they have in that water. Okay, so guys, this has been the evaluation. This is day 2 of the evaluation, and it has been massive. Here we have over 11 acres of land. Land is split into several parts, and it's amazing, guys. It's amazing. Okay, so we are going to be looking at taking an aerial view of the land now to determine what it is like from the area. Okay, we're going to do an aerial view of the land to see people who are around us, and also to determine activities happening around the farm, if it is, legal or illegal, if we need to raise an alarm or we need to be cool about it. Okay, so stay glued. One thing we do not joke with is the area survey of the field. We've had situations where we, after evaluating a farm, and then we discover activities that are of security concerns happening around the field. So at that point, we would have to raise an alarm, okay, because if we keep quiet, it's definitely going to affect the security of the farm eventually when we begin to produce. And that is why you need to ensure that you do a thorough field survey before you make your purchase, before making payment for that land. Make sure all these surveys are properly carried out, analyzed, and you ensure that you are making the right decision. So you don't want to make payment and then realize that, this place is of serious security concern. You can't even cultivate there. Laborers can't even work there. And it becomes a huge issue. The truth is, after you've made payment, nobody would refund you that money back because it would have been shared amongst different parties. So it becomes extremely difficult to get a refund. So you need to be sure you are making thorough inquiries, and you want to be sure before you make your payment. So that's why you need to have an expert come evaluate that field and ensure that all aspects of the evaluation has been properly done. Nobody goes to any place without really exploring their food and understanding a little bit of their culture. So part of what we did during this field evaluation was to explore the food. Igbo is known for kukuru and black soup. So if you don't know what kukuru is flour, okay, made from cassava. For those of you who are familiar with fufu, it's very close to, they're closely related because they are from the same source, which is cassava. So it is really, really nice. As you can see, this meal is super nice and very tasty. Okay, of course, we also enjoyed yam. Okay, this is pepper soup yam, and it was well prepared. I tell you, these meals were super massive. So don't go to any place without really exploring their food. But if you are the type that easily get running stomach, please don't go on any exploration because you will mess up yourself, especially if it's a long journey to your destination. All right, so we explored the food, and I tell you, it was super massive and yummy. The planting season is almost here, and we didn't just come to Igbo to evaluate alone. We came here to plan the work schedule, which we have already started implementing. Currently, clearing operations have already started, and why we are starting really early is because we have 60 acres to clear, and we have to commence like really fast. And this is to you who have massive fields that they want to cultivate. You do not wait until the raining season starts. You commence your preparations long ago, 3 months even before the raining season starts, if possible 6 months ahead, so you can put everything in place before the rainy season, because once it begins to rain, the rain waits for no one. You have to be ready, and you do not allow the rainy season to catch you unaware. So what are you waiting for? If you have a massive land you want to purchase, all you need to do real quick is to reach out to us at Chidav Agricultural Hub. We will come in and evaluate the field. We will sample your soils and analyze them and give fertilizer recommendations, and also give crop recommendations that you would cultivate. And if there's any need to improve the soil, we would give recommendation on how the soil should be improved. So all you need to do real quick is to reach out to us, send a WhatsApp message on the number appearing on your screen, or you go to the description of this video and send us a male. And also, for those of you who are interested in growing commercial yams in sack, our next batch of training is going to be commencing on the 9th of April 2024. So that means if you are seeing this message before the 9th of April 2024, all you need to do real quick is to comment under this video, I am interested, or you go to the description of this video real quick, click on the link, and it will take you to the registration page. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to our channel just yet, all you need to do real quick is to punch on the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, and do well to give this video a thumb up. See you in our next video. Peace.